Nice. So, welcome first of all to the new studio. What do you think of the new setup that we got going?
It popped up pretty quick, man. It's really nice.
Yeah. This is what about? When did I send you guys the picture? About a week ago?
Probably that, if that.
I just came one day and I was like, boom,
boom. Yeah. So this one we have the acoustics. We have a nicer setup, and the reason why this one's called Enchanted Hills and the reason why we named it that is because earlier today we were out at a training, and we have some some behind the scenes footage of Hector's alarm going off in the middle of recording.
Apologies.
No, but we have some behind the scenes footage of us doing our training at Enchanted Hills today.
Yes, training was today, and I asked you how come you didn't come.
You didn't text me.
Why am I supposed to text you?
So you know that thread that we have for all the agents, the one that you always read and always say, "Cash at me $5." That's where we usually have the.
That's a serious threat, then.
Yeah, that's where we usually have the trainings.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt about the Enchanted, but you know what? It kind of grind my gears yesterday.
Who?
When Mr. Broker here put on the chat, "Hey man, there's a event going on. I would need to get a head count of who's gonna attend." And I'm one of the first ones that put an emoji with that, like, "Hey, me."
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Yeah, cool," blah blah blah. And I went to go check the thread again. Like, not even 5 minutes later, it says Mario has removed this. And then he didn't take me in consideration. So I counted to see how many people have put me. So literally 6 with my deleted one. So he put, okay, so 6. So everybody else was accounted for.
Yeah.
And my emoji was...
Yeah. Well, that's why we're going to have a segment on this podcast called No Mames Abraham. And it's a segment where we talk about just stories that happen to you. You are one of the...
Sobran las historias, yeah.
It happens. I mean, just last week alone.
Yeah.
Let's go to your seller on Kimshaw, who texted me, "Fuck off."
That was one for the books, huh?
That was one for the books. I feel like this is only a situation that can only happen to you. We were getting close. It was the day of closing. You were supposed to close at 8:30, and
8 a.m.
8 a.m. and I get a call at 7:30, 7:25.
That's about right.
I was a little worried at the beginning because it was a call at 7:25 from Abraham. I know that usually at this time he's in Mimi's time, but Abraham called me. Abraham called me, and I knew I had to pick up because I knew it could have been a life or death situation, and it was a little bit of a weird situation.
Big time.
What did you tell me?
Like, hey, bro, this guy doesn't want to... Everything was communicated, right? So, he didn't want to go to closing.
Was it communicated in writing, though, Mobile?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why we'll get there when he did the proper follow through, and which ultimately had him sign. But to go back, it was difficult from the beginning, like the whole process. And I took it more of my own because he's one of my assistant coaches in soccer, so I see him and it's like a friend type of thing, you know what I mean? And if it was anybody else, another client, I would have been like, nah, I can't be doing this. Like, it's more headaches than anything, though, right? So it's just been constant. So I woke up and I said, finally, this cloud,
the day of closing.
Yeah, this cloud since January, because we were on a contract and it came back in market, right?
Yeah.
And then we got another offer that was set to close at a specific date, which was well under the 30 days, but they were ready to go, right? Very motivated buyers, and that closing date needed to be extended for 3 or 4 days. And he goes, no, well, I want more money now, and I'm going to extend. I'm going back to market, this and that. I'm like, I really need the money. I'm like, how does that make sense? And Mario got involved in that too, but does that make sense going back to market for another 30, 45 days when we're just waiting on the appraisal, right? So either way, it was just going back and forth. Closing day was, yes, it's cloud. And then my kids, oh, yeah, congratulations on closing. I'm like, hey, I'm on my way. Are you ready for this? I'm not signing, Abraham. I'm telling you right now. I'm like, no. I literally went, no, you cannot do this at this time. Right? And then I'm like, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So I like the way that he put it in the sense that that when the ball's no longer in his court, he cannot call the shots, which he thought he could make the shots, and then Mr. Reality Check comes in. Well, I'll let you explain how you had that conversation. But 7:45, I was like panicking, and I went to the property. I met the buyer's agent there, and then I'm like, "Don't worry, he's gonna buy. He's gonna sign." But get into the conversation on how.
No, I mean,
I really couldn't do it without.
Abraham called me. He let me know the situation, and I told him, you know what, and it's not that the ball was no longer in his court. The ball was no longer in his court in regards to what he was trying to do.
Exactly.
You know, we abide by contracts. You know, the letter of the contract, and whatever the contract is what we respect. Sometimes it's not the contract that we want. Sometimes it's not the numbers that we want. But at the end of the day, we have to do it.
Can I see the amount?
Sure. I mean,
$78,000 was not enough.
Yeah. So,
mind you, he bought it in 2017, so it's 5-6 year property and $78,000.
Yeah. So he just tells me, no, I just want to terminate the contract, and at the times I have to be the enforcer and say, hey, you know what, man, that's really not how it's going to work, because we have this contract in place, and you kind of have to close. My attorney, Mark Davis, shout out to Mark Davis, has gotten me out of too many situations to even count. I'm just kidding. But he told me, and he told you, Hector, you can make a buyer buy, but my attorney, Mark Davis, told me you can make a seller sell, but you cannot make a buyer buy.
Correct.
So in this case, we're representing the seller, right? And the buyer is already closed or is on the way to closing. Keep in mind, they're driving from
Virginia,
out of town or
Georgia.
Yeah, they're driving from out of town, and they have their U-Haul. They're moving people ready to get to the house, as it usually goes. And this guy's like, no, you know what? I'm not closing. So I tell me, you know what? You can make a buyer buy, but you can't make a seller sell. What a lot of people don't understand is that at times
he didn't understand at that point, because he still thought, well, if I don't sign today, we're technically out of extension. I'm like, not in this case. Everything, all the ducks are in a row.
So I explained to him, as it was explained to me, what equitable title means. What rights the buyers have with the contract, which is the equitable title rights. And I guess that made him a little upset, but at the end of the day, it made him understand what happened, and I said, hey, he's like, oh, so you're just calling to scare me? I said, no, by no means am I calling to scare you. If you want to terminate the contract and not sign, it's entirely up to you, man. Because the buyers have the right to do whatever they want, so do the sellers, right? But there is consequences to the contract that they're gonna have to put up with. So I explained to him, and he's like, oh, so you're just calling to scare me. And I said, no, I'm not calling to scare you. You do what you want to do. And then he's like, you know what? Fuck you. Hangs up on me. Never call me again. And then hangs up on me. And then he texts Abraham, I'm going to close, but not because your bitch ass broker called me, just because I want to. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we got it
call
done.
Your broker to scare. I'm like, no, I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen.
And then the worst part of it, so typically every MAREG closing gets an automated congratulatory text message, right? Like, hey, congratulations from everyone at MAREG.
Thank you for choosing MAREG.
Thank you for choosing something along those lines. I don't know exactly what it says, but it's automated, and it goes out to every one of our buyers and sellers. And I forgot to stop the automation on this one, and it went out to this guy, and then he just texted me back, fuck off. And I was like, I'm sorry, man.
Thank you for congratulations for closing this and that, bye-bye. With MAREG.
I mean, but nonetheless, I wish this guy, the best in his future endeavors, and it's just another day in the life of a broker.
I will.
So that's where we get the segment, No Mames Abraham.
And that was pretty vanilla for No Mames Abraham. So that's a good starting one.
That's a good.
But I was like, man, what happened with this in this situation, man? Because, like I said. Finally closing day, but sure enough, there's still something.
Well, I mean, it's best practice. I always tell these people, especially when you're representing a seller, is let them know that once they sign, like pretty much the only one that can back out technically is the buyer.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You know,
He just.
and that's just based off of a conversation with an attorney. You
course.
can make a seller sell, but you cannot make a buyer buy, especially if they're getting financing. Now, he did mention, Mario, just to piggyback off of that, is that if they have assets, that you can go after those assets, like cash. In a bank
You can go
account.
assets at the price of the,
Like, let's say you're
going
going
to
to get a cash deal. No, let's say you're going to do a cash deal. I accept a cash offer, and you show me proof that you have cash in there. As a seller, you can go after those.
And just yank it out.
Just based off of what an attorney said, right?
Yeah. But all of this is time
Always talk to an attorney.
It doesn't necessarily help if you're on the way
Yes.
from Georgia with your kids and a U-Haul.
It's an executed contract.
And, things like that.
It was
So,
yeah.
yeah, the first segment of No Mames Abraham went off pretty smooth. In the future, we're gonna talk about your client, El Mecánico.
That's a good story. That's a good one.
That's a really good story. But I mean,
You know whose clients I would love to hear about? Juan Carlos is.
hey, they love him. Juan Carlos's clients love him. Believe it or not.
Shout out, Señor Mesta.
Hey, you remember that call? Señor Mesta.
Señor Mesta.
¿Qué pasó? Él habló así.
No, that's just the way he talks. And we were in a meeting or something, like trying to get some work done, all of us. And then outside of the office where we were, Juan Carlos was like talking to this guy. And then we're like, "What's going on?" He's like,
Yeah, so let's say, for example, you pick up the phone, right? You pick up the phone, you try to be discreet. You're like, sí, ahorita, mira, ahorita le hablo. No, not Juan Carlos. I love Juan Carlos, no, but not Juan Carlos.
my compadre. I love him. I miss him. I don't know where he's at today, but we'll get him on here. Now,
Siempre me regaña ese güey.
going back
Enchanted.
to the original,
Enchanted Hills.
going back to the original title of this podcast, which is Enchanted Hills. We had our training today
Yes.
at Enchanted Hills.
Yes,
You're the community specialist for Enchanted Hills.
that's me.
Tell us a little bit more about where is Enchanted Hills?
So Enchanted Hills is located in the far west side. When somebody calls me to get directions to Enchanted Hills, I ask them if they're familiar with the outlet shops of El Paso. I ask them if they're familiar with the Abundant Living Faith Center Church out on the west side, right? And I say right behind there, right? Easiest way, even if you don't use Google Maps, which Google Maps is the best navigation tool in my opinion, just type in Enchanted Ridge and go all the way up, right? You get to Enchanted Ridge, you come up. All those houses on that block pretty much are sold. I have one left out there, and then I have two more. So I have a total of 3 homes left out of the 14 that we first started with. Those should be popping off this next 2 months. So awesome families are going to be inside their beautiful point home in the next month or two.
Nice.
Yes.
And in Enchanted Hills, what is the starting price point for families that are looking for homes on the west side?
So at this point, starting price point is $397.5. Everything that I had in the 350s and up is already pretty much done.
Okay.
Those are pretty solid files that should be closing in the next month or two. Point Home started building really fast. These clients are very happy. And the production and all that is going really well. Our model home should be ready in a couple of weeks. I'd say maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I went out there today. We'd gone out for another product knowledge session maybe about a month ago,
Yes.
and it was like from 1 month to the other, boom, like the house is pretty much ready. We just need to finish up the tub and whatnot, but we're going to have our model home there from which you'll be able to sell, the rest of Enchanted Hills. I know that Abraham was one of the first contracts out there. Am I right?
Yes.
With your client?
This
Yes.
is Donna.
Another little segment of No Mames Abraham.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
That was my bomb
Was that the only one that bombed?
noise. Pretty much.
Really?
What
Yes.
does bomb mean?
Bomb means back on
Market. But it sounds like a bomb.
I know. I remember the first time I heard that term.
Me too.
I was at another builder and bomb. I was like, the fuck's going on? And then I was like, hey, what does bomb mean? And that's when they told me, yeah, back on market.
Nice little
was
side point
explosion,
is I am today years old when I just found out it was called Back on Market. I just thought it was like a
Really? You
Yeah.
thought it was an explosion?
Are you serious?
Like this contract
Like the
bombed.
contract just exploded?
Just this conversation, it makes sense now, right?
No.
Hey, and you see
No,
the segment, No
mames.
Mames Abraham?
No.
No Mames Abraham?
Wow. Really?
He said, "Wow,
Yeah.
that's a wow."
Yeah.
Hey, at least I'm transparent. Like I could have kept that and said, "I'm like, oh shit, that's what it means." No,
Sometimes you need to.
Yeah,
I was
hey,
2
just
days
sometimes
old.
just hold it.
I can't.
So can you repeat that? You were today years old?
I was today years old
When you find out what a bomb is.
bomb. A contract bombing means back
Oh,
on market.
man.
After the contract bombed. Go get
Wow.
another. I thought it was like a sales term more than anything.
You see,
But
you
it's an
learn.
acronym.
It is
Yes.
for back on
Gosh.
market.
Back on market.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
And you've been
So-
a realtor for how long?
2.5 years.
There you go.
So digressing
The
back,
more you know. Huh?
digressing back to Enchanted Hills, we should be getting some new lots released soon.
Okay.
More lots released there.
We are we're gonna be building big 3-car garage homes out there, right? Beautiful 3-car garage
so
homes.
Beauty.
Do you, have
You know what I love
a
about
garage
Enchanted
right now?
Hills? This is my yes, but you know what I love about Enchanted Hills is the view of the mountains.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think when I get older and my kids are out of school, since I'm never gonna get to leave El Paso because of my wife. Shout out to my wife Melissa.
Why? Let's go back to that real quick. Then you can't just say that. Why wouldn't you leave El Paso to live with your wife? What does that mean?
She really loves her parents. I'll just say that she really loves her
Yeah.
parents. And I you know, as much as I would love to leave, you know, I mean, I like my suegros too, so you know, we're just gonna stay here. But so I can feel like I live somewhere different, I'm gonna move to the west side because I've never lived in the west side. Never.
Enchanted Hills.
And that's far west too. That's a
Yeah.
very great.
I've never lived in the west side. I lived east. I lived in the valley. I've lived in Socorro. I lived in Sanelli.
Which point home were you purchased out there in Enchanted?
In Enchanted, which point home? I probably just said, well, it's just going to be me and my wife. No, it's just going to be me and my wife, you know? I'll probably do like a Sydney if we build any of those little ones, smaller ones, 1887 square feet, you know what I mean? I don't need nothing much.
Sydney's very good floor plan, but yeah, the Sedona would
Yeah.
definitely be the one too.
You like Sedona?
2371,
68.
2368,
Yes, sir.
3. I was up by 3.
Yeah, you were off by 3 feet. 3 feet matter.
They do. Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah. No, I mean, speaking of Enchanted Hills, what else? I know it's right. It's located directly behind the Abundant Living Faith Center, but what else is there in the area for people who are living in Enchanted Hills to do?
Well, you're gonna be close to the I-10, which will kind of get you everywhere, right? But in the immediate vicinity, of course, you're gonna have the outlet shops of El Paso. I love the Nike store down there. I actually bought some shoes there that people called fake, but I bought some shoes there, right, at the Nike store. I can give receipts. They have Oakley shops. They have Adidas. They
my
have
favorite one.
Coach store. They have a lot of high-end outlet stores out there. You also have quick access to dining. And on the opposite side, heading over towards Cimarron, which is going to be east of Enchanted Hills, you have all those little fancy boutiques.
Okay.
Right.
They have a new Union out there.
They have a
Cimarron
Union.
Canyon.
Yes.
Texas, West Texas Chop House.
Cimarron Canyon, yes.
Where? Where's the West Texas Chop House?
Right behind the. I was there like 2 days ago because we closed on Stewart Title. So we went to the Union. There's a West Texas Chop House right behind the Union in that little plaza.
Really? The West Side, in general, is growing.
That Cimarron, it's gonna be
Yeah.
fine
Yeah.
dining.
Oh, yeah. Cimarron.
West Town Marketplace.
Whataburger.
Marketplace.
Whataburger?
Yes,
Chick-fil-A?
Whataburger. You know what? I'm a big fan of Boss Chicken.
You know what?
I
Boss Chicken's
love Boss
pretty good.
Chicken.
What's your favorite item from Boss Chicken?
Okay, I do the Big Boss combo,
Of course.
Boss fries,
I like you.
Boom.
Boss sauce,
Boom.
and then I like their limeade.
Never had the lime.
Okay.
The limeade's really good. Oh, and have you tried their custards?
Yes, I have.
Oh,
They're
man.
thicker than a
Yes,
Snicker.
yes. They have this. They're thick. They have this
even know
mint
what a
chocolate
custard is.
chip custard. It's ice cream, basically.
Oh,
It's
Yeah,
a fancy term for ice cream.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
fancy.
I mean, it's great to hear that all of these different shops are around Enchanted Hills, and you were about to say something. Pop it off.
back to Boss's Chicken real quick.
Yeah.
The chili cheese dog, by far.
Nah. Nah.
Better than Winter Schnitzel?
You know what?
Big time.
To me, it's a toss-up between Boss Chicken and Raising Cane's.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Raising Cane's is very like generic, but the genericness,
Nimness.
hashtag generic, of it is really good. I love it. I love their cane sauce.
I have a very particular story about Boss Chicken that, no, it was Raising Cane's. It was
Okay.
Raising Cane's, and I think you were with me. It was myself. It was you, Juan Carlos, Christian Alcantar, and myself. Christian Alcantar, a.k.a. Chris Kyle, a.k.a. the
American
marketing
Sniper.
guru. Yeah, instead of the American Sniper, the marketing sniper.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice.
Ba, ba,
So
ba,
anyways,
ba.
just to
Trademark that.
to say what day it was the 20th of April,
Yes.
Okay. So
Why do you know that date?
It was just, I don't know. It was just very, I remember the date, right? So I was a little hazy, just a little bit. We pull up to Raising Cane's, and I wanted a basket of fries. And I say, I want to, let me have a basket of fries. And the lady says, a casket of fries? And I'm like, yeah, I'll have a casket. They bring me the biggest tray.
No,
it was like a tray, like maybe for like 50
I
tenders
was not there.
of fries. And I was like, what is this? What? Well, that's the casket of fries that you ordered.
It's actually a thing?
No, it's not a thing, but they made it for us that day.
Aww.
And I guess they didn't want to mess with us too much, just given that it was a particular day. So they're like, all right, here's your casket of fries. And it was a big old thing. But needless to say, I mean, it was me. There's nothing but big dogs. We murdered it.
I wasn't there.
No?
No.
Speaking of, I wasn't there. So last time we go out for...
I wasn't there.
we go out for birthday / Valentine's, because for those of you that don't know, myself and Hector's wife are twins. So we take out the twins for dinner, and we have this little tiny comidita at Taft Dias. Remember? Was it Taft Dias or?
Yeah, I think it was there, and it was supposed to be like this 5-6 course meal.
It
or
was
something
a
like
6-course meal.
Yes,
But-
but no, that's not a course.
But when you
That's
see
why-
dudes like us, and you say 6-course meal, the meal itself was like a little tiny thing like that, a little baby elote that you
Yeah.
things like that. So yeah, we killed it, and we're like, fuck. It was like $600 for all 4 of us, because they had it's right around February, so they had Valentine's Day pricing, right? So we pay a bunch of money, and then we go. There's some UFC fights going on, so we go to below, and we're watching the fights. And Hector's like, oh, let's order some wings. So he places an order. I place an order from the restaurant. Yeah, because we didn't get full. And then they bring a bunch of wings out. And I just see the mountain of wings. I'm like, hey, wait, like, I don't think we're going to finish them. And boy's like, don't underestimate me.
Oh, boy, let's just check this out, right? Like,
Checkmate.
Check
So-
it out. Dunzo.
So your boy,
Like,
so your boy Hexy was like vibing, right? Like, because I had some craft beers from there. And shit,
Oh,
right?
yeah, con eso.
So I was vibing, right? And then I was feeling good. I was feeling groovy. And then my wife, she killed my vibe, bro. She's like, you don't know how to act.
Oh, my.
And then I was like, what?
Was it whispered to you like that?
Nah, she actually said it very loud. She's like, you don't know how to act.
She whispered with her outside.
And then I was like, what do you mean I don't know how to act? I was like, I'm having a good time. Like, you should be having a good time, too. Well, anyways, I got very upset. And when I get upset, I get hangry. Right? Yes. And then I was very upset that I got, like, a lobster that was the size of my finger
It was tiny.
in a tortilla.
That was bad.
Yeah. I mean, the dessert, I burned my tongue. I burned my tongue with the dessert. Right? It was like liquid nitrogen infused painting. It was, I don't know, you know, like.
Yeah. I think next year, Hector and I are going to be the ones choosing the dinner
Yes.
All the girls
celebration.
picked it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, I get it. Like, it's supposed to be fancy or whatever, but, like.
Because I think that's the way we are as dudes, right? We're creatures of habit. Like me, you can take me to Julio's every single day of the week.
Yes.
You can take me to West Texas Chop House every single day of the week.
Yes.
And I'm not going to stray, what's it called? I'm not going to stray away from the path. I'm going to order at Julio's. I already know my chicken tortilla soup. You can fucking poison me with one of those.
Carnitas for me.
But,
The same
but
thing-
You can't go to Panda Express, though.
Hey, Panda Express. Last time you messed up with the one you brought me.
Panda? You
Yeah.
don't like it?
No. But like everywhere you go, everywhere I go,
chicken?
at least it's always the same thing.
Yep.
I'm very just
Yeah,
like
Julio's
boom,
for sure,
Boom,
that's what you
boom,
get.
Boom, boom, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Like the wives are always like, oh, "Let's try this new place," and you're like, "Okay, let's try it."
Yeah, my wife's not like that.
No,
No.
no.
But me and, like, Melissa actually gets mad if we go somewhere and it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like,
If you
we
pick
should have never.
was she
came-"
mad
No, not
about-
if I pick it. Yes, she was mad,
Okay.
but she was happy because she was with her sister,
Okay.
right? But like, if we go somewhere and it sucks, she's like, we shouldn't have came here. We should just gone to where we always go to, right? We have like 3 main spots. We like to go to the barbecue spot over there. What
Famous
is it called?
Dave's?
Famous Dave's. That's
Hey,
the
you
spot.
can't go wrong with Famous Dave's.
You can't go wrong. My boy, 100 bones feeds a family.
I think we're changing the name of this one from Enchanted Hills to the Big Boy Food Edition.
I know, right? Now I want barbecue. I'm not even capping. Like, I want barbecue right now.
Yeah.
Because you guys said that.
Hey, have you gone to Desert Oak? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Desert Oak.
That was pretty legit.
Yes.
Right.
Jesse took me there a few times.
Great
Hashtag
marketing.
Jesse.
Okay.
Jesse the Ace. Okay, so it's Famous Dave's. That's yes. Jimena likes Applebee's.
Hey,
She
if
calls
you
it
like
Apple.
chicken, you can never go wrong.
She
with
calls
one
it
of those.
Apple. When she was little, she'll say,
Apple,
"Let's
Dad."
go Apple." Yeah, we'll go Apple. Hashtag Jimena.
What if she wants a new iPhone? You don't know.
Me and Cammy, we like to go eat pho. And it's called, what is that place called? It's called,
I like our faces.
how do you guys not like pho, bro? It's so
Oh, I
good.
love that shit. I don't.
It's called like,
My wife loves that shit
like
too, man.
Viet
Well,
something.
it just sounds so different that I'm not even.
It sounds
a
so
bowl.
complicated to order, like
a bowl.
noodles
No,
with
no, no,
this,
no, no.
with that.
You
Hey,
just-
just give me my food.
No, you go
However
like this.
Just
You go like this.
That's it. I picked the
The,
number three.
the lady
That's it.
comes. The lady comes. Very nice, right? And she goes,
Number 3.
and she goes, "What do you want to eat?" And then I go, "Oh, let me get a number 2 charbroiled beef, and let me get a number 13 large." That's it.
Oh, Ace, you get 2 numbers. You get
No.
a 15.
No, my boy.
2 and a 13. Boy,
The
that's
number
what a
2. The number 2 is the spring rolls.
Okay.
Charbroiled beef spring rolls.
Where's this at though? What's the restaurant?
It's called Viet something over there on the.
They're all because pho is Vietnamese food,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
But this one's the best, right? But I know some people like to go to the one right here
There's
on
actually one called
on
Pho.
Trevino.
Hey, that's pho 20 pho.
It's kind of
Pho
whack.
20 pho.
It's kind of whack.
here on
I mean, the guy was really nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go check it out, right? But like, it's not the best. The best is that one Viet something. I forgot what it's called.
Hey, and usually, this is a rule of thumb. Usually, when a big boy tells you this spot is the best, it's probably pretty good.
Yes.
You know?
I agree.
Because,
Yeah.
like, would you trust if a
You know who-
skinny fit guy would tell you, "Hey, this is where they have the best greasy
You know
food"?
who took me there?
Who?
My boy, Fat Chris.
Ah, your boy Chris.
Yeah.
No, he said fat Chris. So how fat is this Chris?
Shh. That's too much, my boy.
Wait, you said fat Chris.
I came out an accent. Okay, he can call me Fat Hex, right? Right? Just 8 Mile myself.
Hey, my boy Chris.
Yes,
Yeah,
my boy
he's-
Chris. We're not gonna say his last name, right?
Here's what's happened with him.
Shh, don't say his last name,
He
bro.
has reached his desired weight, just not his desired height.
Yes.
You know?
So, anyways, my boy Chris, extra fat. I take it back. I'm fat. Okay, I take it back. Chris is not fat. I'm fat. He introduced me to this place, right? And he's
Hey,
like,
but why did you trust it? Had it been skinny, Chris, would you have trusted it?
no,
That's his point. That's a touche
No.
right there.
yeah,
My
no,
point exactly.
No, hey Chris, don't take offense to this, bro. I love you.
Hey, Chris, as soon as you hear this,
No,
I want
My
to know
boy-
Chris. Let's look him on
I,
Facebook.
I didn't. I
Guess
didn't
what?
call him Fat Chris. Okay, I just call him Chris, my boy, aka.
Oh, you know this.
Don't
Chris?
say his last name. Don't say his
I
last
know
name.
I know.
Nobody knows. There's a lot of Chris's.
No, but this particular Chris, he represents another builder.
No, he
I
doesn't.
think we're pretty transparent. This is
Yeah,
one
we
of,
are pretty
This is
transparent.
one of the channels that
I'm
makes
getting
us
him on here. My
who we
boy Chris
are.
Grajeda. There,
There
I
you
said
go.
it.
Why'd you say his name?
We'll
Chris
bleep
G.
it out.
Chris
Bleep it out.
Chris Grajeda.
So
Yes,
anyway,
let's bleep that out. Please.
never trust. Always trust good food from fat kids,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Always trust great homes from Point Homes.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that.
Always, never, ever. This is a rule that I live by. Never believe anything Abraham tells you via text. If you're his client, he's going to treat you like royalty, believe me. But if you're his friend and he texts you
Yes.
something,
Yes.
white noise.
No, you need to save those
I'm
texts.
50-50.
No, you need to save those
I'm
texts.
50-50.
No,
More
no,
like
no.
90-10. Or 10-90. 10 you'll come through, 90 you won't.
I beg to differ.
No,
50-50.
what you need to do is my boy Abraham's. You need to
You
save.
even put.
You need to
what's
save
that?
the text.
Say that again.
Save the text.
No, because he even put it on the chat. Hey, I'll just get Abraham's ticket before he
Yeah.
deleted my.
Do you guys mind if I stand up and stretch out real quick? I kind of feel a
We'll
little
see.
We
tight.
do
Pero
because
una
the shot
vuelta.
is-
Tienes que dar
Yeah,
una
you want me to-
Una
vuelta.
vuelta sexy. He just wants us to see his shoes.
Ay, let me see your shoulder.
He just wanted us to see his little J's.
Or his shoulders.
Boom.
Damn.
No, pulling it back a little bit to real estate. What is it? I know that lately, Hector, you've been on this tear when it comes to wholesaling deals.
Yes, I love
It's
it.
been boom, boom,
Yes.
just getting different deals. I
Yes.
know that that Abraham, we've worked on a couple of. Well, we've worked on an investment deal before as well. What is it that you learned from that experience, Abraham? Being such a new agent, seeing how not a lot of people get those deals up until they start, year 3, 4, 5 in the industry. They start working those deals. What did you learn from that?
I think it's the act of doing it, right? The reality, because not just people in real estate and people that, when I got into real estate, I came to realize that the problem is not people getting money. There's a lot of people in El Paso that have a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So the biggest issue or the biggest hiccup is to find that distressed property, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody thinks, oh, I don't have the money for it. Potentially, there's options, and I came to realize that. And El Paso, even though it's a niche market in real estate, they're there, right? So it's finding that property and taking the action to do it. Because everybody has those great ideas, or I hear everybody say, I want to do a flip. Everybody wants to be a flipper. Everybody wants to do a flip. Mm-hmm. But the action of actually doing it, and once you're actually there, it's not as difficult as you think it is, or it's very feasible. And I had you and the other gentleman, I forget his name, to see that. So I kind of took a step back because I've never been in that situation. I'm like, wow, being in the eye of the storm made me realize like it could be done more than once.
Yeah.
So
okay.
How'd you get your deals?
So this one, I listed the property. I was going to list the property.
Okay.
And their situation, the idea was to put it in the market a couple of months, whatever it may be, to get full equity. But they were in a rush. They needed to leave that house, and we offered a cash offer there at that time. And
boom.
And I guess it has to do with the mentality you go into it. And this is something that we teach here at MAREG, which is always look at a listing presentation as as many possible options as you have, right? That's what one thing we teach here. When you look at a listing presentation, see the reason for selling. If the reason is because of divorce, death, or drugs, then maybe they may be in a rush to sell, and you can have the potential to have a cash deal, and an investment opportunity or a flip opportunity, a wholesale opportunity. Or if they're looking to just downgrade or upsize their home, then it's going to be a regular listing. Yourself, I know that, like I said, you've been on a little tear lately when it comes to wholesaling. What have you learned from this time wholesaling?
So, it's just you got to look at every deal from different perspectives, take into consideration what they're looking for. And then just if you're running numbers in your head and it's starting to make sense, just pop the idea, right? Like the most recent one that Mario just closed on, that I wholesaled over to him.
Jim Furrow, what's up?
Jim Furrow, what? Basically what happened is a friend of a friend called me and said, hey, I want to sell my house, right? And but it's distressed. It needs a good amount of repairs and all that stuff. So, I started running numbers with him, and he told me that he just kind of wanted to get out. Like, he wants to buy another house. So I was like, would you take this offer? Boom. And he's like,
it makes sense to him.
Yeah, I'll take the offer. So, all right, let's close in 10 days. Boom. I turned around. I told Mario, I was like, hey, you're my guy. This offer makes sense. You want to take it? Boom. He took it. And I just made a lot of money really fast.
Yeah. So like I said, it has to do with what the person who's purchasing and what you have to get in the mind of the person purchasing and the mind of the person that is selling the deal, right?
Yes.
And I think that's the way that you can best structure the deal for everyone.
Yes. And don't be scared.
Exactly. Don't be scared. Don't be scared of presenting different options to different people, and just surviving.
Onizuka.
Yeah, Onizuka. No,
Onizuka. So Onizuka, that one. Let me tell you a quick story. A good friend of mine, really good friend of mine. He, he had plans to move on with his life from that house, move on in his relationship and all that stuff.
Onizuka was a buddy of yours too?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And so long story short, he told me, you know what, this is my bottom line. Right, so this is months. Like he was like, "This is my bottom line. This is my bottom line." He wasn't doing nothing with the property. This is my bottom line. So eventually, I was like, but let me do a market analysis, right? Let me see what we could do. So when I looked at the market, and based off of his bottom line, like it made sense, right? To tell him, hey, I'll give you your bottom line, And then he got his bottom line. I told Mario, hey, I want this amount for the house. You want to do it? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And it's a win-win-win. Yeah.
So it's just conversations.
It's just conversation. Just like, oh, let me do a CMA on it. Maybe it makes sense. And sure enough, it did.
Just going that extra mile, making that extra phone call, doing that extra CMA, sending out that extra CMA really does pay dividends. Because if you look at it, and just in the past 6 months, Hector has wholesaled 3 properties to me. So in those 3 properties, anywhere between, and just from me making the checks, between $15,000 to $25,000 that he's walked away with without ever actually selling a property. Without actually selling a property, without actually having a client other than an investor who typically wants to move fast. Hey, I typically want to close fast because I want to fix fast and I want to sell fast, right? So bringing this, just wrapping this up for anybody anybody out there that has a distressed property, that is looking for a way out from their current situation with their home, give us a call. Give myself, Abraham, your information. Where can somebody reach you if they wanna get some information regarding buying, selling, distressed sale, anything like that?
915-231-0463 or Abraham Jacob Herndon, Texas Realtor on Facebook and Instagram as well.
And Hector, if anybody wants to reach you regarding a distressed property or Enchanted Hills, where can they reach you at?
They can reach me at my phone number, 915-630-0686. If they're looking to sell their house, they can get a free instant estimate. Ooh. Yes. At the following website, giantsofrealestate.com.
There you go. So there you have it, El Paso. If you're looking to make a move, if you're looking to sell your distressed property, if you're looking to buy in the El Paso area or surrounding areas, we're ready here to help with different communities, with Point Homes. And, we are licensed real estate agents, so we're here to help with just any property in general. Give us a call. Go ahead.
I was looking at the numbers for the brokerage.
Yeah.
There's an agent that closed $850,000 in 5 days.
That's another section of No Mames Abraham.
I closed 3 deals. It was $850 in production.
There we go.
I want to plug me in. So people can know I'm selling. Real estate is still hot. People are saying I'm going to wait for the market to crash. The market's not crashing. And in the previous podcast, you'll see that the interest rates are rising, but also sales prices are rising. Buy now, refinance later. People are actively buying. Give me a call. I'm your guy.
One of my favorite quotes from Mario is, the best time to have bought was 20 years ago.
Or
and now
the market is the market. And I use
that. No, the market's not the market. The market.
That's it. The market is, but that's not my line.
Use that.
You only have to give credit the first time.
Yes.
But anytime you use it after that, you can.
That's it.
You can just take full credit for it.
Full credit.
But I use it in every single situation, every phone call.
All right then. Well, MAREG out.
We're getting the wrap.
Bye.
Boom.